Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is I Love You, Say It Back. It's the podcast. I'm your host, Vic D, on a Thursday. Turn me up. One, two, three to the four. Vicky D is now on your radio. Kind of. I mean, I guess if you're listening to a podcast on your speakers in your car, it's kind of like they're listening to me when I was back in the radio. What's going on, y'all? This is I Love You, Say It Back. It's a podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Vic D. So glad you were with me. And if you're watching on YouTube and you're like, damn, he looks tired. I am. Please send help. It's been a crazy day, crazy week, but for all the good reasons we'll get to in here in just a minute. So if I sound like I'm a little bit off, just bear with me. Got some great things that are on the way, and busy day, but I'll tell you why and everything that just kicked off today, and why today. I almost consider not doing a podcast, but you know what? I've said this a million times before. I was like, you know what? The one thing that I want this podcast to be, if nothing else, is consistent. And I'm so proud of that. 2 years, every Thursday, you've been able to count on a damn podcast. 2 years. Unbelievable. So I'm like, is it even worth it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I know you guys are driving around, and I'm glad that we become a part of your, a small part of your week on Thursdays. Maybe give you something to look forward to. If nothing else, you know what I like to think this podcast is? If nothing else, I want you to be like, damn, new podcast. That means it's Thursday. That means I just got to get through today. Then it's Friday. And then hopefully that brings a little bit of a smile to your face. If nothing else, that's what I want this podcast to be. Before we get into our show, we were jam-packed. We are actually jam-packed today. I want to remind you, please, if you're listening on Spotify, on Apple, please jump over and hit that follow. Hit that subscribe button, whatever it is that you're listening on. Make sure you get up to date with everything. If you follow along, you'll get the updates directly to your phone, and that is huge. Like it, subscribe it, rate it, leave a comment, do all that good stuff. It's a second to you, but it means everything to us, and it helps us grow. And it's just please. So thank you if you've already done it, and if you haven't, I encourage you to do so now, and do the same thing over on our YouTube at ICYDK Pod. Do the same thing. And same with our socials at ICYDK Pod on Instagram. Of course, I'm at Vic D Radio. And if you've been on there today, we've been busy, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to start with this because it's the biggest thing that's been going on. And it's going to be the biggest thing that goes on pretty much in my life for the next 10 or so weeks. Today, we officially kicked off my campaign for Blood Cancer United. So that is huge. It is it's one of these things that I've been talking about. And so if you're unfamiliar and if you're just tuning in for the first time, here's what's happening. They reach out to local people in the community and they ask them to raise money. And I've been transparent about it. They've reached out in the past, and I wasn't able to fit it into my town, whatever. Last year, I lost my sister and I lost my dog. And obviously I lost my grandma. This is a few years ago. Currently have a family member going through treatment. And it just, when they approached me about it last year, it was right after the whole thing happened with my sister and my dog. And it was just one of those things where it's like, look, this is the third time that I've been approached about this. I was like, I'm going through this. Maybe this is the sign. Maybe this is how I know that I need to just finally do it, pull the trigger. Agreed to do it. I'm excited to do it. We kicked it off today, February 18th. Well, I guess if you're listening now, it's February 19th. And yeah, you can start taking donations. I'm going to put it on the link on my bio and on our social media for the podcast. Taking donations. If it's $5, if it's $10, if it's $20, if it's whatever it is, I'm already just going to say thank you in advance. And if you can today, if you can tomorrow, whenever it comes, and even if you find other ways to support, maybe you want to come out and play in the golf tournament or do something in the golf tournament, details about that on the way. incredible stuff. So just letting you know, the campaign is official. We have ideas for, obviously, I just mentioned it, a golf tournament. I'm wondering how much I want to actually share about this. So, okay, I'll tell you this. This is exclusive only to the podcast. Another thing that we're going to do to raise money, and I'm nervous, but I'm willing to do it. I really, truly am. I'm going to cut my hair. Like, I'm chopping it all off. One, I'm donating it. Two, obviously the money, I want to raise money through it. So if we raise enough money, I'm going to set a number. We're going to do a little thermometer. And if once we hit it, it's all coming off. I haven't cut my hair since like COVID, ladies and gentlemen. That is 6 years. You know, we're talking about 6 years. So don't tell anyone. We haven't made the official announcement yet, but that's another thing that I'm doing to help raise money for Blood Cancer United. Tonight we had the dinner. That was one of the things that's kept me up. It was like, we had the dinner, the kickoff party. We met the hero, the little girl who we're kind of doing it in honor of, which it's really in honor of everyone and anyone who's ever battled through this or had family that's gone through this or has been a caregiver or a caretaker of anyone who's battled through this, or just suffered the loss of a family member. This is all to benefit and hopefully, you know, give people more of a fighting chance with this just terrible disease. And I'm excited to do it. So next 10 weeks is going to be crazy, but I hope that I can count on your help. I know I can. And let's do it. I want to have fun with it. I want to be true to myself. That's why we did the golf tournament. So more updates on that. Once again, at ICYDK Pod. I'm at Vic D Radio. That's where we're going to be posting most of the updates and everything. So follow along. Going to be a fun ride. And that's what's been kind of going on. So I've had a lot of people haven't seen this, but we had meetings with the people, my team. I want to shout out Eddie, Steph, and Julie, who have taken time out of their busy days as well to just meet with me and throw and bounce ideas off of just off the wall and off of each other, and just like, what do we do? What do you do this? What do you do that? It's one thing for me to agree to say like, yeah, I know what I'm getting myself into. It's another thing for friends to step up and be like, we want to do this with you, because I'll be honest with you, it's impossible for not just me, but for anyone to do alone. So big shout out to them, and they're going to be out at all the events and helping us raise money and helping us kick some ass. So let's start the show. All right, I want to start the show with, like, I don't know if it's the saddest news but if you follow us on our socials at ICYDK Pod on Instagram, I posted this, and it was like, new segment, story that's devastating me, just wrecking me this week. And if you do, you already know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, Punch has stolen my heart. Not only mine, but the entire internet's heart this week. And if you're like, what the hell is Punch? Punch is this little baby monkey, and I'm going to be very generic with all the terms that I use, because that is how people consume information. Punch is this little Japanese monkey, and Punch was abandoned by his mom. Now, I guess in the monkey world, monkey kingdom, I don't know what they call it, but in that community, this isn't like that uncommon. Sometimes mothers just don't accept their babies. Whatever reason, I couldn't tell you, but they do. This baby was abandoned by his mom, 6 months, younger than 6 months. So obviously a 6-month-old, think about it. They're like the closest things to human. They need their mom. They lust for that, the warmth of a mother. And obviously Punch didn't get it. So they put in Punch with the other little monkeys. And the other little monkey started bullying Punch too, because Punch didn't have parents. They're like, oh, they don't want you. We don't want you here either. He was kind of being bullied or shunned, or, you know, nobody wanted to play with him or spend time with him. Oh, I'm telling you, the videos are absolutely breaking my heart. I wanted to go and save Punch and grab him and hug him. Here's the saddest, the thing that really broke my heart. So if you watch the videos, he started carrying around this little plushie, this little toy, and it was another little like orangutan, and he took it with him everywhere. He ate with it. He slept with it. I want to cry right now. He ate with it. He slept with it. He wouldn't let it leave its sight. He was running around, and he was always just carrying it, and it was just like his only friend, the only friend that would play with him. His mom didn't want him, and it was like the most saddest thing, and it was just like breaking my heart, and I was like, I can't keep watching these videos. but I couldn't stop watching him. It was just the most devastating and oh my gosh, everybody, the internet was like, no, we got to save Punch. We got to do something for Punch. So long story short, fast forward, I saw this news yesterday and it looks like there is a little, I don't know what the name of it is, like a little tribe of other monkeys that took him in, started taking care of him, and even reports of Punch starting to like let go of that like plushie, that little orangutan, because he started making real friends. He started making friends with the other little monkeys. Once he was taken in by the other group, the adults kind of, held him and accepted him. Therefore, the little ones kind of followed suit. They're like, oh, he's accepted, we accept him. And, he used to carry around that little monkey around everywhere. And now he is leaving it everywhere, which, look, don't get me wrong. It's sad that he's leaving his little bestie, his little friend, his little, but it's also like the healthiest thing for him, right? Not a real monkey. This is a real, like real connections, real friendships that he's making. And he doesn't necessarily need it anymore, which I don't know what the price of that little orangutan is, but I want it. I want the little plushie that he was carrying around. It was so cute. But the little monkey running around and not having any friends. And there's a video where he like was approaching like these two big monkeys and he was just trying to get close, and they would push him and he'd come back and try to get close to him again, and they'd push him and then he just runs back to his little plushie. It sounds like I'm making this up, but I promise you it's absolutely real and it's absolutely heartbreaking. If you've seen the videos and you know exactly what I'm talking about, I don't have to explain anymore. You know what I'm talking about. And some of these stories just kind of almost feel like, is this real? But it is. It's real life and it's unbelievable. Punch, I love you. Say it back. And I'm glad that you're starting to be accepted by a different community, because your parents ain't shit. Your mama, she ain't shit. It ain't always just the fathers. It's the mama in this case. Ain't shit. We have a segment on the show. It's like, oh, men ain't shit. Men ain't shit. In this case, Plush mama or Punch's mama, you ain't shit. But I'm happy to see it. It looks like it's got an encouraging, I don't know if ending is the correct word, but it's got an encouraging new road that it's going down. So exciting. Folks, so now I say this because I get excited, because now if you are new to the program, we are in like 90 countries. We are in like 900 cities. We are kind of global. We are kind of big. But I say this even though I feel like most people are not first-time listeners. We're based out of Bakersfield, California. Shout out Bakersfield. And Bakersfield, listen, Bakersfield is known for a lot of things. Great country music, deep roots, oil. We're also known for not the greatest things. Teenage pregnancies. We're known for high STD rates, high, some negative, very low education rates. I mean, just listen to this podcast. But we're also kind of go viral for like random things. This week, the viral news, Bakersfield, California. Have you seen these TikToks? A girl called the cops. She called 911. And I guess the operator who answered, the dispatcher who answered, was extremely rude. She goes on TikTok and she's like, if you're in Bakersfield, California, and you're the dispatcher, and she goes crazy. She's like, fuck you, you're a bitch, and blah, blah, blah. And she goes crazy. This video, folks, it goes viral. You open up the comment section, and apparently this is not her first rodeo, because everyone in the comments was sitting there being like, oh, I know exactly who that is. I'm talking about nurses, doctors, cops. Everybody in Bakersfield knew who this woman was. So she goes viral, like all over the news, all over. It's making news stations here in Bakersfield, California. It's going viral on TikTok, which is all over the entire damn world. And it's absolutely like just another thing that Bakersfield's known for that isn't great. But I'm here to tell you, listen, if you're a dispatcher and that's what you're known for, like, first of all, how the hell have you not lost your job? So there's people saying that she's tied in because she has like family that works in there, or her family owns. So I'm not sure what it is, but she has certain, like, there's job security there. That's one theory that people are throwing around. But I wanted to throw this out. Bakersfield dispatcher who's extremely rude to everyone. I gotta know. open invitation right here on the podcast. We can keep it anonymous. I want to talk to you. And the police are saying, oh, depending on who we called or where she called, sometimes it goes out. So no. They're trying to say that it's not even someone in Bakersfield. No, we know it's someone in Bakersfield. And I hope that you're watching this. And I hope that you understand, hey, we got a podcast. I can angle this camera to where you're not even in the frame, sweetheart. I want to talk. We can do the robotic voice too. We can do the, I was having a bad day. It's like, apparently you've had a lot of bad days, but you're welcome on the podcast. I want you on the podcast. I want you. We can even role play. I could be like, hey, I'm going to pretend that I'm having an emergency. You just, I guess just do your job and be rude, right? 911 emergency. Fuck you won't. Damn. And she could explain. I want to give her a chance to explain herself. I want to give you a chance to either clear the slate or be like, yeah, that's how I treat people because people are stupid. Or just explain your side of the story. The rude Bakersfield dispatcher in Bakersfield, baby, you're welcome right here. You can be as rude as you want to me. I kind of like being mistreated a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I like being talked down to me, sweetheart. You're welcome on this podcast. We'd love to talk to you. We can give you the robot voice. We can keep you anonymous. We can put the light behind you. We can do that whole thing like they did on Primer Impacto. You know what I'm talking about? The Maury show. I was 17 years old. Yeah, we can do all that. So if you're listening, Bakersfield dispatcher, I love you. Say it back. Just want to give you a chance to clear the air. That's it. This is a welcome invitation. You're welcome. But it's hilarious. It's just the latest thing that Bakersfield is on the map for. Not great. Boy, I'm sleepy. Sleepy. Let's get into your fun facts here in case you didn't know. Oh, boy. This kind of broke my heart. I don't like this. In case you didn't know, not only do insects feel pain, but they can also suffer from chronic pain recovering from an injury. In case you didn't know, caffeine can increase your ability to learn, understand, and remember. Drink that coffee in the morning and continue out throughout the day. In case you didn't know. And finally tonight, in case you didn't know, the oxytocin released when you cuddle can relieve pain, boost your immune system, and reduce anxiety. Cuddling's a big thing. I got to be real with you. Cuddling's not my thing. It's not my thing. And I didn't realize how big of a thing it was until I started talking to people and they're, do you cuddle? Do you like to cuddle? Talk to the homies and they're like, do y'all cuddle? And it's just like, there's a lot more cuddlers than you would imagine. It's just not comfortable for me. I don't like sleeping in one position. Arms half asleep. Booties pressed against. I mean, that part's fine. But it's cool for 5 minutes. And then it's just like, all right. You can go over there, Let's do one more. I'll give you a bonus one. In case you didn't know, the average person spends 6 months waiting at red lights. In case you didn't know. Let's get into, okay, so Yosemite's incredible right now. I was up in Yosemite for New Year's, got a cabin up there for 3 days. You know that. I'm not telling you anything new, but I'm telling you this because if you have not, just Google Yosemite or look up Yosemite on TikTok or on Instagram. It is literally a winter wonderland. It is stunning. It is beautiful. And I believe maybe it's this week or maybe it's one of these weeks where they're supposed to be having the firewall, where that firewall is basically there's a waterfall. I think it's Horse Trail. I forgot what waterfall it is, but basically there's about a week window in February where the sunset hits this firewall or this waterfall, and it looks like fire coming down. The light hits the waterfall at a perfect angle, perfect time, and it looks like fire's coming down. It is one of the coolest things. I'm telling you, photographers from like Germany, Russia, Europe, like all over Europe, like everywhere in the world come to see this because of how spectacular it is. And because there's such a small window to see, there's only a couple of days throughout the entire year. So that's going on. But also, we've been seeing a lot of rain in California, and that's turned into snow up in Yosemite. Just Google the videos, man. I wish I can go back. I mean, I have free will. I can go back, but it's one of those things where it's like, damn, like it's just a beautiful experience altogether. I did have a beautiful experience when I went up there because I actually got to hike. I don't know how much hiking I'd be doing if I was there right now, but I'm telling you, just aesthetically, it's one of those like unique situations that you're like, man, this is pretty special to be a part of. Let's get into, do you guys do anything for Lent? You guys do anything for Lent? Some people do. I remember one time I did there's a little behind the scenes here. How just prove how stupid people can be, man. So I did obviously Lent is like one of the biggest things that's going on. So today, I guess yesterday was Ash Wednesday. Fat Tuesday was on Tuesday. But long story short, I went on the radio station, and there's a couple times that I remember where I went on and I was like, oh, this is a good topic. And people turned it into something that it wasn't. And it was just like lame losers. And one of them was Lent. And I was like, hey, I'm always curious with my Catholic friends. And I'm like, hey, what do you guys, if you guys are giving up anything for Lent? And to me, it's just such a fascinating conversation. It's like some people are giving up fast food. Some people are giving up soda. Some people are giving up sex. Some people are giving up, I don't know, maybe starting something, maybe running for 40 straight days. I don't know. But I'm always curious, like, hey, what are you giving up? Or what are you doing for the next 40? And they'd be like, well, and then it'd be like people who aren't Catholic, they'd be like, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. And I'm like, God, here we go. I'm not here to talk about this stupid shit. I'm only here I'm curious what people are giving up. And you're taking it, not everybody's Catholic, So it's like, yeah, I know that. What? I thought that everybody was Catholic. Like, what? Shut the fuck up. It's just dumb. But, grew up Catholic, so I've done Lent before. I don't know if I'm doing anything. Normally, there's always something that I want to like improve, and it's so close to the new year where it's like it kind of counts as your New Year's resolution, and I don't know, maybe kind of kickstarts. I feel like at 6 weeks or so, people start to kind of fall off their New Year's resolution. So maybe this is a good little kickback up, like, okay, well, let's get the train back on the tracks. Maybe giving up soda. Giving up soda is always a good one. It's always a popular one. Giving up fast food. I'll be honest with you. Giving up fast food, the food is not hard. Giving up the convenience of fast food is incredibly hard, especially when you got a weird schedule. Sometimes the best meal or the only meal that you get is on the drive home. It's like, you know what? Let me get it here. I don't, that the convenience of fast food is hard to give up. The actual food, not easy to give up. Then that's no problem. But yeah, if you got something, talk to me. And don't come anywhere. Hey, I just want, it's ridiculous. Not talking to you, dork. Not talking to you, loser. So another thing that's going on is we talked about it last episode too. The Lunar New Year. You been seeing this shit? Lunar New Year, out of nowhere. Like it went, this thing, you want to talk about 0 to 100. It went from nobody even knowing what it is. And now all of a sudden, everybody's like, it's the year of the horse and the fire and the snakes and the shit. It's like, what? When did you all learn all this? I haven't heard anybody talk about this stuff. All of a sudden, everybody's an expert in the Lunar New Year. But apparently there's like real traditions that it is fun to play along. It's fun to play along. My thing is like, I don't care. Like I like knowing what other cultures do and just out of curiosity. My thing is that like, where did this come from? Whoa, this is crazy. Lunar New Year. So apparently, I believe it was on Tuesday, sometime early, a couple of days ago. basically you weren't supposed to, I don't know if it's like you weren't supposed to clean, you weren't supposed to like sweep, you weren't supposed to be negative, you weren't supposed to like do all these things. So there's like traditions that's actually pretty cool about Lunar New Year, because as you're welcoming in, the reason why they don't want you to clean or sweep or do any of that stuff is because they don't want you to wash away the blessings that are coming in the new year. But they also don't want you to like curse. They don't want you to, I believe they even said don't wash your hair, which ladies, I know that's not a problem. I wash my hair once a week. It's totally normal. Look it up. Yeah, I've heard that before. But yeah, Lunar New Year, interesting stuff. Let's get into your fun facts. No, I'm sorry. Let's get into your, what do we got here? Oh, Wednesday wisdom. Interesting question. Interesting. Let me pull up my DMs here. I thought I had one more topic, but this is good. I'm sleepy, boy. I am not mad at this. Listen to this. Here we go. And by the way, this is going to be up on our socials in the morning. How long should you wait to start dating after a breakup? Listen to this story. Hey, Vic D, how long should you wait to start dating after a breakup? I recently got out of a relationship 4.5 years, maybe 4 months ago. It's been hard, of course, but I was asked out on Valentine's Day for dinner from a guy that I used to work with. I considered, but ultimately I said no. I feel it's disrespectful to my old relationship. I told one of my close friends and she flipped, thinks I'm way beyond the point of it being disrespectful. Thoughts? There's layers to this. Boy, do I have thoughts on this. How long? So ultimately the question is, how long should you wait? So there's so many factors in this because I think 4 months is fucking ridiculous. 4 months is ridiculous if it ended bad. You know, like if you got cheated on, or if you, let's say one thing people don't talk about enough is like the day that you break up with somebody is not the day that idea didn't just pop into your head and you're like, you know what? I don't think this is going to be my long-term solution. I don't think this is going to be my long-term relationship or love or the person that I'm going to get married with. The day you realize that is not the day you break up. The day you realize that, what ends up happening is you drag it out, you drag it out, you drag it out. You maybe wait for an incident. You maybe wait to a point where you're like, I'm so unhappy in this that I can't continue living like this. But let's say you break up, but you've known that this is not your person, not your relationship for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And you break up with a person and it gets to the point where that was so unhealthy and you're like, I'm ready to start dating a couple weeks later. I don't know what the specific rule is or time frame is. But let's say it was a kind of a sudden breakup, you didn't see it coming. That's just a matter of you healing. That's just a matter of you feeling like you're ready to give yourself to somebody else who deserves the best of you if they're giving the best of them, right? So it's like, if I meet somebody and I'm like, man, I love this girl. She is smart. She's beautiful. She's got all the things that she's driven. She's blank and blank, blank, whatever it is that you look for on your checklist. And I want to treat her right. And I want to make sure that everything that I do my best to put my best foot forward with her. Well, what fault do I have that she just got out of a relationship and she isn't ready to give herself or treat me right? So my thing is figure out where you are, how you ended the relationship. And it was honestly like a long thing. And from what it sounds like, the reason why she is looking to continue to respect the previous relationship, 4.5 years is nothing to scoff at, folks. I don't think it ended terribly. I don't think it was one of those like, fuck you, like it didn't end like that. It was one of those like mutual, like respectful, like, hey, I think we realized that we weren't each other's people. And in that situation, I would give you 100% like, I understand you want to respect it. 4 months, maybe I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do understand it. If you want to go 6 months, if you want to go 8 months, it doesn't matter. Whatever you feel is right and you feel like you're comfortable enough in yourself to where you're not even thinking about that relationship, that's when you know that you should. So I don't think there's a set date. I think there's a checklist that you need to check off for yourself until you can feel like you can give the best of yourself to somebody else, where you're not even taking that previous relationship into this new relationship. Here's the other part. Here's where I will put my foot down. Why the hell is everybody in a rush to be in a relationship as soon as they get out of one? I think the best advice that I can give you is be single. Be okay with being single. Reconnect with your friends. Go on a trip. Why are you getting out of a 4.5-year relationship and already 4 months of disrespect? No. Why the hell are you looking to jump back into something so fast? It's giving desperate. Why are you it's okay to be single. It's okay to relearn who you are as an independent person. When you're with somebody for 4.5 years, you know what happens? You're a version of yourself that is a person who's in a relationship, a person who's always taking your partner into consideration, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But when you have your full independence, when you have I don't have anyone to think about but myself, that is a different person. For better, for worse, learn who that person is. Admire that person. Be okay with being alone. Give yourself that time. Don't be so rushed to get into another damn relationship after you just got out of one for 4.5 years. What are we doing, sweetheart? What are we doing? Now, if you meet Mr. Perfect, it's like, okay, date around. Have fun. But to jump into another relationship and do all that and start dating, and it's like, my advice, my final say, give yourself time. 4 months is not disrespectful. To me, it's more about, it's just too soon to start being with somebody else. Dating around, definitely not too soon. Not disrespectful. But just give your time. Be okay. Be okay with being alone. Have fun. Reconnect with your girlfriends. Do that whole thing. I said whole. I just realized in my headphones, it sounds like I said, do that whole thing. Do that whole thing. Well, now we're just opening up a new can of worms. But yeah, I don't think it's disrespectful. 4 months, that's plenty of time. I think the checklist has got to be, how long is it until you are not even considering that relationship? How did it end? If it ended well, or as best as a relationship can end, you do want to be mindful and you do want to be respectful. So I admire you for recognizing that, but also, if that's still in the back of your head, you're clearly not ready. And everybody's timeline's a little bit different. That is your Wednesday wisdom. Victi has spoken. Let's wrap it up with a little trivia. Here we go. Little late night trivia. All right. Nearly 40% of Americans say they did not do this in 2025. Nearly 40% of Americans say they did not do this in 2025. What is it? Pause it if you need to. Answer is coming. One more time. The question: nearly 40% of Americans say they did not do this in 2025. Your hint? For a lot of people, it's a New Year's resolution. Here we go. Reading a book. Read a book in 2025. Nearly 40% of Americans did not read a book. I wish I could say something smart and something like, let's get to reading. I didn't read a book. Hell no, I didn't. I'm not a reader. I mean, it's like, and I know a lot of you guys out here is like, hey, Vic doesn't read. Yeah, neither do you. Neither does you, Who the hell reads? No, I'm kidding. I'm pro reading. And I want to. It's one of those things that you want to do. I just start and I'm like, boring. And I end up just going for a run instead. So there you go. Y'all be good. Have a great night. Sleep good. Angelitos. Once again, I want to remind you folks, my campaign for blood cancer research is officially open. You can donate at any time. You can donate any amount. If it's $1, if it's $2, $5, if it's today, if it's tomorrow, it doesn't matter. I don't care. As long as we do this together and it's all for a great cause, that's what I care about. And more details, keep up to date at ILYSayback Pod is the Instagram. I'm at Victy Radio. Check us out on Spotify. Follow along on Spotify. Catch up with everything that we have. Same thing on YouTube at ILYSayback Pod. Like, rate, subscribe, comment, review, do all that good stuff. I love you. Y'all have a great night. I'm going to go get some sleep, and I'll see you at the Hard Rock Casino tomorrow. Love you. Peace.